ओम Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji continues to explain how to think with the help of scriptures on the truth. Earlier he explained sixth mantra of Ishavasya Upanishad. Now he is explaining eighth mantra of Ishavasya. Acharya is not explaining the entire mantra, but he is only using a few words, but more importantly, a concept. And that concept is very useful to break our erroneous notion about ourselves. Just as in the previous shloka, when he used sixth mantra of Ishavasya, the concept taught was that I am in all and all are in me. That consciousness I am. So I am that consciousness which is in all, and I am that existence in which everything is. Because the entire creation emerges from existence. So this Sat and Chit, existence and consciousness, is my nature, was pointed out. Now in the eighth mantra, he explains that I am not the three physical bodies. Three bodies: physical body, subtle body, and causal body. So the nature of Atma as Shariratraya Vilakshana is what is being taught. So let us see the shloka now. व्रणस्नायुरभावेन स्थूलं देहं निवारयेत् शुद्धापापतया लेपं लिंगं चाकायमित्युत. Vrana means a wound, and snayu means a muscle or a tendon in the physical body. So in the mantra in Ishavasya it says Saparyagat Chukram Akayam Avranam Asna Viragam Shuddham Apapa Viddham. This much part is explained. So earlier in the previous shloka, Paryagat word was explained. Paryagat Vyomavad, pervading. Sarvam Paryagat, that which pervades all. And Shukram word was explained as Deeptimat, shining, Chaitanya Swarupa. Now it is said that which is free from, devoid of Vrana and Snayu. Vrana Snayor Abhava. And that is given as the reason that which does not have a wound or does not have a snayu. Because of that, sthulam deham nivarayet. It is said that I don't have gross body. So the understanding should not be only limited to this, that Atma is devoid of sthula sharira or gross body. The understanding should be I am devoid of sthula sharira. Because all problems arise there in the gross body, and we get carried away by those problems so much that we just go on taking care of the body or beautifying and making it more and more available for pleasures and extended life. Because we think if body is alive, then I am alive. And if body is free from problems, then I am free from problems. But the fact is, I am not the body, and whether body is there or not, I shall continue to exist. So, sthula deha nivaranam vranasnayo rabhavena, by the absence of wound, because wound will be there only in gross body. Subtle body cannot get wounded. Even though we may use such expressions that, oh, I got hurt by your words. But remember, it is only the feeling. The wound here is physical wound, and there is no snayu, there are no tendons or muscles in the body, in the subtle body. They are all in gross body, and therefore sthula sharira nishedha is being done with the help of this mantra. Avranam asnaviragam. And then sthulam deham nivarayat. So sthula sharira, gross body, has been eliminated from Atma, from me. And by saying shuddham and apapaviddham. So shuddha apapataya lepam. That which is lipta means anointed with purity and absence of sins. What is said is, it is not subtle body, because papa, punya and papa comes only in sukshma sharira. Subtle body has punya papa concept, and the results are experienced by subtle body only. So by saying apapataya lepam, lingam deham nivarayat. Deham nivarayat will go together again. Lingam deham nivarayat. And by saying shuddha akayam, so akayam shabda should be taken as again free from Sukshma Sharira, according to this commentator. He says Shuddham as free from Raga Dveshadi Doshahinam, free from Raga Dvesha. And Apapam means that which is free from sins but also free from merits. No punya and no papa. Na punyam na papam. But we can also use Akayam as free from causal body, Karana Sharira. Shuddham can be taken as that which does not have even the trace of ignorance. So, the Upanishad mantra talks about Asnaviram Shuddham Apapaviddham, and before that it is said Akayam Avranam Asnaviram. Saparyagat Shuddham Akayam Avranam Asnaviram Shuddham Apapaviddham. So Akayam Shabda can be taken as that which is free from causal body also, and Shuddham can go there, because Asnaviram and Avranam is to negate Sthula Sharira. Apapaviddham is to negate Sukshma Sharira. And Shuddham and Akayam is to negate Karana Sharira. So all three bodies are not there. And therefore, I am free from all three bodies is the meaning of this mantra. So, I should be able to dwell on this. What is the objective of such mantras? So, I will always feel that I am limited. And Upanishad tells me, you are all pervading. I feel I have gross body, means I have physical body. I feel I have mind and mind related issues. And Upanishad says, you don't have mind. You are not the mind. Mind is mithya. And if I am not having enough Shraddha in these teachings, then I will not even appreciate the depth of what Upanishad is saying. What Upanishad is trying to teach is that all your problems or all our problems are related to ahankara. But that is not my real nature, my real identity. My real identity is Atma, the self. And unless I own up that real identity, there is no end of sorrows. So on one hand, if my objective is to become free from problems, free from sorrow, And on the other hand, I go on identifying with limited body and all the vikaras of the body and mind, then there is no way to attain freedom. So once this teaching becomes clear, then the objective that the Upanishad is trying to accomplish by saying that you are all pervading, you are pure like consciousness, you don't have gross or causal body, that will be accomplished in the sense that then only I will know what is freedom from sorrow. Freedom from sorrow is nothing but knowing that there is freedom from three bodies. And freedom from three bodies is through knowledge. So causal body is ignorance. That ignorance has given birth to the other two bodies. So right thinking is the way to end all problems. This is what is meant in these shlokas, or in the idea where it is said that I should think about what is my true nature, my true identity, with the help of Upanishad mantras. Now the next shloka is teaching how we can think using Bhagavad Gita shloka. And here the Bhagavad Gita shloka that is taken is from Vibhuti Yoga. So in Vibhuti Yoga, Bhagavan talks about all his vibhutis. That Bhagavan is in sun, in moon, in Himalayas, in Ganga. Sthavarāṇāṁ Himalaya and Srotasamasmi Jannavi, Ganga I am. Ashwatha Sarvavrikshanam, I am in the, among all the trees, I am in the Ashwatha Vriksha. Among the members of Vrishni clan, I am Vasudeva. So, Vrishninam Vasudevosmi, Pandavanam Dhananjaya. So that idea Bhagavan uses here. Vasudevo yathashvathe swadehe chabravit samam tadvaduvettiya atmanam samam sa brahmavittamah. Vasudeva means Bhagavan, Shri Krishna. Yatha ashwathe swadehe cha samam abravit. Bhagavan said, I am same in Vasudeva also and in Ashwatha Vriksha also. Means as much as I am in my body, I am in other things also. Now those other things can be Himalaya, other things can be Gangaji, other things can be Ashwatha Vriksha, other things can be Arjuna, Vyasa, Bhagavan Ved Vyasa, Muninam Apyaham Vyasa, Kavinam Ushana Kavihi, Shukracharya. and I am in sun, and I am in moon. See, in Vibhuti Yoga, all the expressions that are given, there it said Gandharvanam Chitrarathaha. Now you tell me, in our so many years of lifespan, how many times we think of some Gandharva? We don't think. But Arjuna was used to it, so Bhagavan gave teaching accordingly. But at least the other aspects, like sun, Adityanam aham Vishnu. So among Adityas I am Vishnu. And among luminaries I am sun. Jyotisham Raviransuman. So those things we can experience. So there we can express our oneness, that I am in all of them as much as I am in this physical body of a Swami, of an individual. And equally I am in the ant and in Brahmaji. Ya Brahmadi Pipilikant Tanushu Prota Jagat Sakshini. Saivaham, that I am. So that Chaitanya which is in all of them, that also I am. In this way, when I dwell according to what Bhagavan said, then tadvad veti yaha atmanam tadvad veti. The one who knows himself in this way, that this is how I am, this is who I am. So I am in all living and non-living beings, in moving and non-moving things, in all these stars and planets and galaxies. I am. Tadvad yaha. Tadvat means just as how Vasudeva, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, understood himself as all-pervading and same in all, like that the one who knows himself in all, yaha atmanam tadvad veti, saha atmanam samam atmanam tadvad veti. That Atma is all, in all, as same. Because Nirdosham hi samam Brahma. Brahma is Nirdushta, free from all defects, and is sama, is same. When we say same in all, is also a limited way of thinking only, because there is no same in all. There is only one Brahma. But as long as we see varieties of Nama Rupas, then we can say, I am same in all. And therefore there is no question of developing Raga Dvesha, partiality, etc. Then the one who knows this way, Saha Brahmavid Tamaha. He is the highest knower of Brahman. Highest knower of Brahman means he has understood Brahman very well. That this is who I am. The bird that flies up in the sky, all the way high, even above the mountain peaks. And the fish that is there all the way down in the river or in the ocean. In both of them, there is Chaitanya and there is existence. That Chaitanya, that Satta and Sfurti, I am. In this way, if I understand, then I realize my all-pervading nature, and with that, I will dwell on the nature of Atma. So you see, one great idea is revealed here. Generally what we think, Bhagavan is in all. Bhagavan is all pervading. Bhagavan has varieties of vibhutis. So that is good to know. But that will not remove my sorrow. Only knowing that somebody else is very wonderful, very rich, my poverty will not go. My problems will go only when I realize I don't have problems. So, earlier also I have explained this, that we don't have any objection when we only listen to this idea that Bhagavan is asamsari, Bhagavan is nityamukta, Bhagavan is sarvavyapaka, Bhagavan is sarvashakti. So we say, very good, I accept every word of what you said. My problem is only when somebody tells me I am asansari. I am not victim of situations. I am not karta bhokta. So when someone says that, I say, how do I accept this sentence? I don't agree. And that is where I have to realize that my asamsaritva is possible only when I eliminate sthula sukshma karana sharira from aham. I eliminate chidabhasa from aham. And as shuddha sat chit ananda, I am asansari. I am sarvavyapaka. I am the origin of creation. So there is no objection only when I have understood myself as Atma, not mingled with Shariratraya, not mingled with Chidabhasa. And that alone would be true Nididhyasana. All else is only preparation for Nididhyasana. So when I realize this, then I will be able to claim my true freedom, which is always there. Nitya Muktatva. And when it is said Brahmavid Tamaha, so of course in Yoga Vasishtha, the gradation of knowers of Brahman is given Brahmavid, Brahmavid Varaha, Brahmavid Variyan and Brahmavid Varishtaha. So here by Brahmavid Tamaha, what is said is that he is understood the teaching thoroughly. This is what Bhagavan Shankaracharya wants to say, that he is not only studied Upanishads, he is not only studied Prakrant Granthas or like Vyakarana, Tarka, etc. And he is not only able to quote them here and there, left and right, or able to teach, but is understood what is actually meant by these mantras. What is the purpose of the Upanishad mantras and Gita shlokas? Otherwise, we will say, I have studied Prasthanatraya, Brahat Prasthanatraya, Vyakarana, Nyaya, Mimamsa, everything. And yet, Soham Bhagava Shrochami. So I am still grieving. And Shastra says, Tarati Shokam Atmavit. So I have not yet gone beyond the sorrow. So when I say this, that means I have not understood what Upanishads want to say. How should I think? So thinking is revealed here so beautifully. So in this way, Ishavasya mantras and Bhagavad Gita shloka, they were taken as sample. More explicitly, it is explained in Kaivalya Upanishad in the later shlokas. Directly it is said, Mayyeva Sakalam Jatam, Mayi Sarvam Pratishtitam. Not shlokas, mantras. Mayyeva Sakalam Jatam, Mayi Sarvam Pratishtitam. It is not said, Brahmani Sarvam Jatam, Brahmani Sarvam Pratishtitam. No, Mayi. Everything is taken in first person. And Mayi Sarvam Layam Yati. In me alone, everything comes to dissolution. That Brahman I am. So, how beautifully everything what applies to Atma or Brahma, if I can translate it to first person, then I have understood the teaching thoroughly. Like in Taittiriya Upanishad it is said, Ahamannam, 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 Ahamannado, Ahamannado, Ahamannadaha. So everything is said as Aham. I am Annam, I am Annadaha. Ahagga Shlokakrat. I am Shlokakrat. Ahamasmi Prathamajartasya. So I am the firstborn also. Everything is Aham. And without any erroneous understanding, I have clearly absorbed the teaching. Then my Nididhyasan will be successful. In this way, Acharya has given the pointers here. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.